that's an example of, okay, you really don't have all the facts, and we really don't have all the facts. And it's hard to even get the facts from the news because, as we've talked about it, it's get it out loud, get it out fast. Don't care about how accurate it is.
Yeah. So that's definitely one element of the ugly side of cancel culture, right? Is we don't have all the facts. We're just going to go off of what we hearsay. Yep. Another thing is what you started to mention is the whole Joe Rogan controversy right now. And that's a scenario where we want to cancel, quote unquote, cancel somebody because we disagree with the information that they're putting out. And to me, this is so strange that they're attacking him so hard based on a podcast. Now, I get it. His podcast reaches, 11, 12, 13 million people every single time he presses record. So there's a lot of people impacted by this. But to me, from my perspective, there's ulterior motives here.
100%.
Because you see all these mainstream media outlets talking about why do they trust Joe Rogan? They don't trust us. And so to me, it's not as much,
that's
hey,
with the system, Joe.
Right. It's not as much, hey, let's get rid of him because he's spreading bad information. It's, hey, let's get rid of him because he's a threat to us. And to me, that's an issue. You're trying to take somebody's livelihood. Now, if he gets fired by Spotify, he can go up and do his own thing, and he's going to be just fine because his audience is going to follow him. But the point is these people are trying to discredit him and get rid of him based on information that they don't agree with.
That's right.
And I think that's so ridiculous.
And again, I guarantee you, so these people on the Joe Rogan example is, first of all, it was started by 3 guys that are literally professional cancel culture guys. There's guys that's what they do, is they get online and they troll people and they pick up things, they research and pull clips. In this clip that they're trying to say that he's this, it was out of context. 100% out of context. And so that's what these guys do. And it's funny is, I don't know if you saw Dave Portnoy got on a deal with him. And it's funny, the very thing that they're calling him out for is the very thing that these guys are doing. Portnoy tracked down one of these dudes' fiance and has a text of this dude using the N-word in a text about black people. And it's like, that's the problem, is we hide behind the computer screen. We're pointing the finger saying cancel, 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 when the dude behind the computer screen, for lack of a better term, is a piece of garbage as well. So there's no accountability. There's no like, oh, no, I'm going to sit behind the screen and I'm going to cancel you because that's what I do. And then, but again, are you kidding me?
And this all started because of COVID misinformation that they felt he was spreading. He had a couple of controversial guests on that were talking about COVID, and they made some statements that the mainstream doesn't agree with. And that's what started this whole thing. They're trying to deplatform him and trying to get him off because he's quote unquote spreading dangerous information.
But he's spreading okay. And again, I know everybody that's supporting Joe Rogan in this is saying the same thing, but he's spreading information from both sides. In order to make a decision, you have to have all of the information. And some of his guests feel one way, the other guests feel another way. Joe has his own opinions through his own experiences that he has shared. But by no means, if you go back and you listen, by no means is he saying this is the truth, this is the truth. He's just giving people platforms to talk about it so that his audience can hear both sides. And that's what's so backwards. And here's what blows my mind is if you go on and you post something about COVID that is contrary to what the mainstream media, the CDC, the president, whoever it is, if you say anything that's anything contrary, you've got an alert down on the bottom that this is COVID, right? This is COVID related. And guess what? You click that link, it takes you to what the message that you're trying to spread. Okay. But if you say anything that is in line with it, you don't have the alert on the bottom of it. Why is that? So Joe is a guy that's like, listen, I'm just going to put information out there. I'm going to have deep conversations. I'm going to ask the hard questions. And if anybody listens to Joe asks some of the best questions. And he's not asking for himself always. He's asking like, hey, I'm the people. They want to know this. So I'm going to ask that question. And because of, like you said, Joe challenging the mainstream or the left or the right, whoever it is, because he's challenging it and he has people on that disagree with what the CDC believes or the president, now he's an enemy. Yeah. He's a terrorist.
Yeah, and what's interesting about some of the stuff he's saying is, and he actually made this point, is that some of these things 8 months ago, if you had said it, said these same things, you'd be kicked off Twitter, you'd be ostracized, whatever.
Yeah, cloth masks don't work.
Right.
And
now we're coming to find that some of these things are actually true.
Yeah.
So that's the problem is if you're trying to cancel somebody because you disagree with their belief, you're not giving any grace to the fact that things can change.
Yeah. That you don't actually know.
Evolve.
You don't actually know everything.
And you don't know everything. So that's the downside of cancel. And it's like we're saying, it all leads back to react first, think later.
Yeah.
Is we're so up in arms about these things that we're not giving any time for things to change.